Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel at NDN TV Nigeria. Click on the subscribe button and be the first to get notifications.
From 1760 till date, when Ayiri'S I installed the first Ologbotsere of Warri Kingdom, only 4 people have been appointed into that position in the over 500-year history of Warri Kingdom. And of the 21 monarchs that have ruled Warri Kingdom, only 3 have appointed Ologbotsere. For most Itsekiris, this is a pointer to the fact that though a prominent title in the Olu'S palace, the Ologbotsere has not always been involved in the governance of Warri Kingdom. This is the position of most prominent Itsekiri sons and daughters in their justification of the recent withdrawal of the title of Ologbotsere from Ayiri'S by the 21st Olu of Warri Kingdom, Ogiame Atuashe III. The Ologbotsere title was first introduced in Benin Kingdom in 1713 by Oba Kinsmen I. In Benin Kingdom, Ologbotsere means Ologbotsere, a housekeeper for the Iyase, as well as one of the military commanders under the command of Iyase of Benin, who used to be the commander of military forces in Benin Kingdom. However, 47 years after the title was created by Oba Kinsmen in Benin City, and 280 years after Warri Kingdom was established, Ogiame Ayiri'S I established the title of Ologbotsere and installed the first Ologbotsere of Warri Kingdom. By 1951, Ayiri'S II installed Omayone Mayuku as the second Ologbotsere of Warri Kingdom. After the demise of Chief Mayuku, Ogiame Ayiri'S II projected Chief O.N. from Uwangwe title holder to become the third Ologbotsere of Warri Kingdom. Upon his demise in 1987, after crowning Ogiame Atuashe II on the 2nd of May 1987, no Ologbotsere was appointed during the 28-year rule of Ogiame Atuashe II. However, upon his ascension to the throne, the 20th Olu of Warri Kingdom, Ogiame Ekenwole I, decided to appoint Ayiri'S as the 4th Ologbotsere of Warri Kingdom. This move was criticized by the majority of Itsekiris, and indeed some Itsekiris took to the streets to protest and appeal to Ogiame Ekenwole not to go ahead with the installation of Ayiri'S as the 4th Ologbotsere of Warri Kingdom.
We're here to appeal to the Olu to try and stop this installation.
However, Ogiame Ekenwole went ahead to install Ayiri as the Ologbotsere of Warri Kingdom in a ceremony that had all the trappings of aristocracy and royalty. Upon the demise of Ogiame Ekenwole in December 2020, the lot of midwifing the succession process fell on Ayiri'S as Ologbotsere of Warri Kingdom. His inability to properly supervise the process unfortunately stalled the selection and subsequent coronation of a new Olu of Warri. In other words, his continued occupation of the Ologbotsere title became a hindrance to the cultural and traditional advancement of the Itsekiri nation. It will be recalled that when Ogiame Atuashe II joined his ancestors in September of 2015, the whole process for announcement of his passage, selection of an Olu designate, Iken and Idaniken rites, as well as the coronation proper, all took place within 3 months. However, 4 months after Ogiame Ekenwole joined his ancestors, Ayiri'S as Ologbotsere of Warri Kingdom could not even proceed with the first step of the announcement of passage of Ogiame Ekenwole I. His inability to perform the traditional tasks reserved for the office of Ologbotsere forced the hand of Giniwa I ruling house and the Warri Council of Chiefs. What followed was the suspension of Ayiri'S as Ologbotsere of Warri Kingdom and the subsequent reorganization of the Warri Council of Chiefs under the chairmanship of Chief Johnson Amashenuleye, the Iyashere of Warri Kingdom. Immediately after, a legefun took place, which is the traditional announcement of the passing of the king with the immediate unveiling of Prince Chola Emiko as Olu designate. Iken rites as well as Idaniken followed simultaneously and culminated in the historic and epoch-making coronation of Ogiame Atuashe III as the 21st Olu of Warri Kingdom on August 21st, 2021. As tradition demands, the Olu of Warri upon ascension to the throne embarked on a revalidation and confirmation of all chieftaincy titles in Warri Kingdom. As was predicted, Ayiri'S boycotted the exercise, preferring to go to the river to make sacrifices to Umalukun, the river goddess, on the exact day for which he was to partake in the revalidation exercise. This action, coupled with Mr. Ayiri'S continuing court case against the Olu of Warri, Ogame Atuashe III, as well as his utterances and actions, which served to signpost his confrontation against the throne of Warri Kingdom, made it clear to Ogame Atuashe III that it would be impossible for Ayiri'S to function in his palace as one of his chiefs. So on Tuesday, the 5th of October 2021, Ogame Atuashe III summoned the elders of the Ologbotsere family, where he officially announced to them the disrobing of Ayiri'S as Ologbotsere of Warri Kingdom. In a swift reaction by a handful of Ologbotsere descendants who met at the residence of Ayiri'S in Warri Delta State, they rejected the disrobing of Ayiri'S. Mr. Alex Enyego, who announced the decision of some members of the Ologbotsere family, claimed that he was speaking for and on behalf of the entire Ologbotsere family. Honorable Daniel Mayuku, son of Chief Omayone Mayuku, the second Ologbotsere of Warri Kingdom, says nothing could be further from the truth.
You see, Alex, I don't even know where Alex is coming from. The other, I don't know if it's I don't be able to tell me where he's come from in the Ologbotsere family to become our spokesperson. We do not recognize him as our spokesperson in the first place. It's not my spokesperson because I'm an Ologbotsere. I am from the Egbeju family. Egbeju happens to be the senior son of Ologbotsere Yinisa. My father was the second Ologbotsere in the history of Itsekiris. My father, I'm not talking about my grandfather now, I'm talking about my father, was the second Ologbotsere of Warri. And the Egbeju family, as I talk to you today, they've gone on radio to say that where the king goes is where they go. I am saying here today, without fear, that I have support and backing of the Egbeju family to say that we are totally in support of the Olu. He has spoken, and the Olu word must not go back to him. That's why we call it affirmation.
Honorable Mayuku, who aligned himself with all the decisions of Ogame Atuashe III, said ordinarily an Ologbotsere should be completely loyal to an Olu of Warri, a trait which he says Ayiri'S by his actions does not possess.
When the late King Ayiri'S II was dethroned and sent on exile, my father went with him. What do you take that for? Loyalty. You must be loyal to the king 100%. And the moment your loyalty is in doubt, the king can withdraw. It's as simple as give me back my bead.
Most Itsekiris describe Ayiri'S actions as not only sacrilegious but hypocritical. Ayiri, they say, was a major beneficiary of the absolute power of an Olu, and that was the reason why, when in 2017 Itsekiris opposed Ayiri's installation as Ologbotsere and the Olu made a final pronouncement, all Itsekiris had to accept the Olu's pronouncement in good faith.
When that title was given, about 2017, if I'm right, there were a lot of controversies, but it pleased Ogame Atuashe to give it to him. And the rest of the Itsekiris had to cheat their sword, because in Itsekiri parlance, the crown, the king, is Ubarumeto. Ubarumeto. What it means, you cannot say anything negative in disagreement with the king. You cannot. Even in your bedroom, Ubarumi Eto. What we see now, for me, is sacrilegious.
And I was among those chiefs who had advised against his being made Ologbotsere. Not because I wanted to be, not because I had any disregard for him, but I found that he would misuse the position, he will burn himself in the process, and he could do a great deal of damage to the nation.
In this whole scenario, what most Itsekiris find difficult to understand is Mr. Ayiri'S continuous rebellious behavior. They say that as a former chief of Warri Kingdom, Mr. Ayiri, more than anyone else, understands the concept of Afomasi, which refers to the absolute power of the king in matters concerning the Itsekiri ethnic nationality. For them, it appears Mr. Ayiri'S is inexorably set for self-destruction.
Inside the Niger Delta,